Mr. Wilson, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Buckley?
Present.
Ms. Jisling?
Present.
Mrs. Roberts?
Present.
Mr. Tuttle?
Here.
Mrs. Briner?
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have a hearing of the public on agenda items only. Seeing none, we will move into superintendent's report and recommendations.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, and Mr. Wilson. Tonight, I would like to recommend 3 resolutions for your approval. After significant research and planning with a team of dedicated administrators, as well as assistance from a facilities task force related to our strategic plan work, I have concluded that we can continue to offer and advance the high-quality education in our district while remaining fiscally responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars by suspending the use of Brentmore Elementary, outlined in one resolution, as well as suspending the use of Garfield Elementary, outlined in a second resolution. This is possible by assigning all current Ridge Middle School students into the other 2 middle schools and using Ridge's building as an elementary school building. The third resolution tonight recommends new attendance boundaries that would enable appropriate building capacities at the remaining middle schools and elementary schools. We have communicated the details of the plan to our stakeholders and have engaged in important dialogue to address concerns and questions, which will certainly continue. Before you have an opportunity to vote, are there any final comments or questions?
Just to thank you, Mr. Porter, and the school community, parents and stakeholders, for all that they did to contribute to making these recommendations so that we could do right by our students in the future.
Thank you.
Madam President and members of the board, I am recommending approval to permanently suspend the use of Brentmore Elementary School as the first resolution tonight.
So moved.
Second?
Please call the roll.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Ms. Jisling?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Madam President and members of the board, I am recommending approval to permanently suspend use of Garfield Elementary School in the second resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mrs. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Ms. Jisling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Madam President and members of the board, I am recommending approval of the 2018-2019 new attendance boundaries as our third resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jisling?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Thank you. Before I conclude this portion of the meeting, I would like to thank the Board of Education for your support in both the plan and the process that we have undertaken. I would like to thank the administrative team for hours and hours and the collaborative effort. I would like to thank Mr. Wilson and the Treasurer's Office, particularly for helping us with the fiscal impact information. The building administrators in our district for their continued flexibility, the certified and classified staff members for their support and understanding for the need to do this. The task force under our strategic plan, their guidance and suggestions were extremely helpful throughout the entire process. And the parents and community who have reached out, have listened a lot, have shared questions and concerns with us, they too want our momentum to continue. I'm so appreciative to so many. We obviously have a lot of work to continue to do, and we will continue that in the months ahead. So thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Ms. Jisling?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mrs. Roberts?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes. We're adjourned.